one likes dreading the family reunion because the relatives don't get along. So today, we're sharing expert advice on how to be part of the solution. 5 ways to open up the conversation and help heal a family rift. Doug Nilsson has the words to say to help end these family feuds.
Yeah, indeed. You know, and you look at this, about 40% of us right now are involved in a family rift of some level. That's nearly 50% of us. A lot of pain wrapped up in that, whether it's a family reunion, just coming over for Sunday dinner, whatever it might be. 1 in 20 of us won't talk to a relative for over 20 years. Had that same thing happen in our family. Dad, brother, rift. Dad tried to make up. Brother wouldn't have anything to do with it. Tragically, brother died. They never talked again.
What a crazy statistic, especially in a state like Utah where everything seems to be so family oriented.
Yeah, it's the core of our emotional life, right? The family, and it seems to be just being pulled apart at the seams, and then we add this fire on top of the family rift, and it really adds a lot of stress on that family. And so it's really important, like you're saying, to what can we do? Where do we go? Because family rifts can come from all kinds of things in life, right? Whether it's inheritance. I have a client right now that I'm seeing. She literally has a restraining order against her sister due to family inheritance arguments about mom's estate. A restraining order. I mean, it can get out of control, whether it's differences in religious sexual orientation, religion, misunderstandings. It just goes, and jealousy, and it just spreads like a wildfire. And
it seems sometimes like it's easier to forgive friends or maybe coworkers, but when it comes to family, sometimes those grudges and those bad feelings can stick around. We just hold on to it like an iron trap, and we don't let go of that. And yeah, but we can forgive strangers or friends, and for some reason, family, that runs deep. And it's the idea that no wounds, if we don't address them immediately, heal on their own. I mean, it's like if I break my arm and I say, I'll go in 2 or 3 years and get it fixed. We've got, they say time heals all wounds. No. Time does not heal all wounds, and we need to address that as opposed to let the broken arm get addressed 3 or 4 years down the road. By that time it gets set, and it's much more difficult. So there's essence, that time is of the essence to get it healed. Okay, so we're going to be part of the solution here, and you've got some tips that you're going to walk us through.
We want solutions to this.
Yes, we do. Okay, so why is it important to understand the emotions that come behind all of these feelings that we have?
You know, you look at that. As I've got a family rift, what am I going to do? What motivates me to really want to heal this thing? And if it's fear-based or love-based, we really want to get to the love-based. But if it's fear-based, typically you drive the road of fear, and it ends in resentment, heartbreak, because fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of failure. I mean, we go on, and the reality is that really doesn't play out well. It's not good fuel, as opposed to asking that question. It's a good question. What is motivating me? Is it love? I love this family member. I care about them. That is a much more genuine place to come, and you go down that road, and you typically have much better outcomes than the fear and the pride that comes along with the fear.
And there's some words that you can say, some really healing words that you recommend when you're trying to get some of these rifts worked out.
Yeah, I mean,
things to say versus things maybe not to say.
Not to say. You know, and as you look at this, as we get, there are 5 steps that people can step into to really help. And some words, I mean, number 1, I need to take some ownership. And you ask yourself, what part of this, even if it's just 1%, can I own? And that is a little golden nugget that can change the whole tenor. If I can stop before I even begin to heal a rift and say, what part of this can I own? And if I look at that and say, if it's, you know what, I'm sorry for the tone that I used to you, I'm sorry that I've avoided talking to you, I'm sorry that I haven't communicated, whatever the case might be, what part can I own? And then it can move us into this first step of saying, okay, what do you do? Number 1, I can express and say, I love you. I love you more than your choices. I love you more than the decisions that you've made. I love you more than the misunderstanding or our disagreement. I care about you. And that would be one of the steps, one of the words that we can use that really moves us into healing.
And then you say, I'm sorry for the pain you're in, and just kind of acknowledge that you're sorry.
I love you, I care about you. I am so sorry for the pain that you're feeling. Neither one of us, we don't want this pain. And I'm so sorry that you're feeling this and this anger. But the important thing to understand very often, the anger is telling us our relationship's important. you matter to me. That anger saying there's something here, because the opposite of love is not anger, it's indifference. And so to say, you know what, you matter. I care about you, I love you, I'm sorry for the pain, we both don't want this. Let's work for something different.
And then you also say it's a good idea to ask someone, tell me how you see it.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, how do you see it? I want to sit and go into listen mode, receive mode, tell me how you see it, understanding. And it's interesting, more often than not, most of these arguments and these rifts aren't so much about the wrong that's happened. It's more about, I don't feel that you validate or understand my position. And once we can go in, tell me how you see it, and you listen and you try to understand them and you try to validate what they're feeling, it's amazing how the walls just start to melt down. I love you, I'm sorry for this pain, tell me how you see it, I care about you. It really opens us up then to go and to do for solutions, looking for solutions.
And then you say, suggest, okay, what kind of solutions can we get to now that we kind of have this out?
That's right.
What do you suggest we do?
Exactly, and that's the question. What do you want to see happen? What would you like to see? I've got some ideas. I'd like to hear what you'd like to see happen, and let's really kind of brainstorm that a little bit and see what we can do. Oftentimes, if I can understand and validate their experience, that is the solution. And if I can do that, then we can more readily work towards a common goal.
And then you say, revisit it in a week or two. Give it some time.
Again, time heals no wounds. And very often we've got to keep the conversation alive. Keep it alive, meaning, okay, let's agree, let's do this. Let's meet next Friday at Denny's and let's have breakfast and let's talk about it again. And then I suggest with couples or families, do it again. And several times until it's really, we've come together.
And keep the time frame short.
Yes.
So you don't want to be putting it out 2 months.